Hi guys, welcome back to the Blue Milk Show, our little special segment here, the Blue Milk Sports Show. We're your host. I'm Scotty Too Hottie.
As always, I'm Petey Boy Zane.
And I'm Patrick Toy O'Neill.
Can I ask one quick question? Why do we always have to introduce Pete next?
Because
Pat's
that's
right
the
next
way
to
it
me.
goes in the beginning of the segment. When you flash the pictures across, it goes you, then Pete.
Oh, it does.
And
Yeah, you don't know. I'm the one that actually edited that video.
The
That's
producer
what we get.
and founder of the show.
All right.
He also likes pork loin.
Yes, I do like pork loin. That's how you spell Detroit
Detroit.
Lions.
The Detroit Loins.
All right, back on topic. But today we're talking Week 5 NFL. We're going to the NFC East. This will be our third consecutive show tonight. 2 without me because it's kind of hard with, basically the Wikipedia of the NFL.
Wikipedia.
Yeah. The Wikipedia all the way at the far end and the Wikipedia in the middle. And I'm like Webster's Dictionary of the NFL.
Britannica.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Funkin' Wagon.
Yeah. First game tonight, we're going to talk about the
We're going
Chargers.
to the NFC East.
2 winless teams going in to Sunday night at 1 p.m. What do you think? The Chargers and the New York Giants.
Go with you, Pete.
You want to start with me? All right, we can start with me. You know what I like about this game, and there's not much to like. 2 guys who switched teams at the NFL draft. Phillip
Oh,
Rivers
yeah.
and Eli the Crybaby Manning. Not that he's a crybaby now, but when all that went down, he did not want to play in San Diego. I'm picking San Diego just for the sheer fact that I'm an Eagles fan and I want to keep the Giants winless. There's a few bright spots in San Diego, not much. Melvin Gordon plays good. And Phillip Rivers is just Phillip Rivers. He's bound to get a win. And I feel like this is the game he gets his win in. What do you think? And Joey Bosa.
Yeah, I don't know who to pick in this game, really. I mean, I do have to make a prediction here. They are in New York, but it's just so hard. Like,
It's ugly.
yeah, it's
both teams are having a bad
demoralizing.
season.
It is demoralizing.
You know that they got to put out a product of 2 losing teams. Not to say, needless to say, my team can't even score a damn point in this
Sure.
NFL
Go
right now.
Dolphins.
So, with that being said, both teams have good edge rushers. We're talking about like top of the line pass rushers here.
JPP, Aaron Oliver.
We've got to see who can establish the run, which San Diego will run the ball with
Sure,
Melvin
man.
Gordon.
He ran the ball good last week, too.
Yeah, and Phillip Rivers, man, he can still do it. He can still sling the ball, and he can get these guys going.
Let me give a little side note on Phillip Rivers. Last week he was getting frustrated, and people were like ripping him for that. I like that in my quarterback. I like that. A
He-
fiery dude who's
Yeah,
frustrated.
He
You
has
gotta
a
show
competitive
emotion.
edge, man.
I mean, he showed it like he cared about the game. So
Sure.
you got to show that.
Of course.
I
I mean,
that.
as a fan, I want to see that. And plus, his predicament where he was,
He would be
they were betting against him. His whole
he
all the
would be
fans there.
beloved in Philadelphia if he was the quarterback,
I
the
agree.
franchise quarterback.
I
But
would
anyway, he's not, and we're still talking about the Chargers and New York Giants.
All right, I'm sorry. I was supposed to wrap that.
I'm
up.
still gonna have to give the edge to the Chargers here.
Yeah,
I mean, I know the Giants are playing at home, and they got to get out of this funk that they're in. And I know you guys can care less if they don't ever get out of the funk.
I'd like to see him go 0-16.
Yeah,
to it.
absolutely, but that's never going to happen in this league. Yeah, I'm going to have to give the edge to the Chargers.
Who do they think they are? The Detroit Lions?
Lloyd's.
And I think, and at the same time, I gotta say it's probably going to come down to 28-24 victory with the Chargers.
28-24. There you have it.
My prediction, I guess I'm gonna call it the first tie of the season. I mean, I don't favor either team. I do like to see the Giants basically what you used to say, go 0-16
every year.
That's just because they're in our division, and
That's
the
I,
Eagles and Giants always give a fucking.
as much as the fan base around here can't stand the Dallas Cowboys. This is more of a rival team than the Dallas Cowboys in my eyes.
Toy, you know what? I had this conversation a couple years ago, and that's absolutely correct. That's on the money. We've been the Giants' rivals since I believe the 30s when we came into the league, 1933.
Yep.
Well, they're
So-
right. That's the city next to us. I
Sure,
mean, you
we
gotta
a
believe-
lot of people
Yeah,
consider
straight up
us
the
the
turnpike.
redheaded stepson of
Yeah.
the New York Giants. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Of New York, period.
We just have better games against them.
But it's just the label that Dallas got as the Americas
Oh
team.
my God. You know,
Well,
they
let me
did a lot
let
of
me
things,
let me
too.
give my predictions to this. I'm
Of
gonna say
course.
it's 13-13. That's gonna lead into a tie.
But it's perfect leading into this next game
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we were talking about the Americas team.
Sure,
Yeah,
hold
they
on.
are-
I
yeah.
didn't pick a prediction. I'm going to say 20-17 the Chargers.
All right, well, let's move on to the Green Bay Packers, where they're Brett Favre-less for a couple of years now.
America's
And
game of the week.
the Dallas Cowboys, where Tony Romo retired and became a sports announcer. Let's see how we feel about this team for this game.
You know what? I'm okay with this being the game of the week. I think this is an exciting game. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman. I love Troy Aikman. Joe Buck kind of gets on my nerves.
I agree.
Who do I like here? Of course, I'm going to go with Green Bay. Dallas is playing bad. They lost to the Rams last week. A team that and they lost to the Rams at home, mind you. And I don't know what's going on. You couldn't blame that loss on Des Bryant. Des Bryant did everything he could so they could win. I don't know who you blaming on their defense. I'm
They
not
have a lot of holes in their defense.
absolutely they do. Great offensive line though.
No, absolutely.
You know, if they can
Best.
consistently run the ball and establish the run, this is going to be a tough game for Green Bay because they're another team who, you know, they're not an established number one. They're having tough weeks, dude. They played the Bengals and the Bengals played them tough.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
So, what's your score on this game?
my score on this game, I do think it's a shootout just because of Aaron Rodgers being the quarterback of Green Bay. That's what he does. I want to say 37-30 Green Bay.
37-30 in a shootout. Nice. Yeah, this game, Aaron Rodgers, man, he loves playing in Dallas.
I know.
And you can never count this guy out, especially when it comes down to the clutch time. I mean, you give the ball to number 12 in any situation like that,
Sure.
my money's on Aaron Rodgers.
Mr. Hail Mary, you know what I mean?
But this week, I don't see it happening. I think they are going to establish the run, Dallas. You know, Green Bay, I mean, they have a decent defense, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop the offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys, and they're just going to start early with Ezekiel Elliott, and they're just going to play smash mouth football with them, and they're going to keep Aaron Rodgers off the field as much as they can.
That's what they got to do. They want to
Yeah,
win.
absolutely, and I see that coming down to that, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a tough time getting anything going just because of that reason. And I see Dallas winning this game 24-10.
24-10 the Cowboys.
I kind of see it similar to what both of you are saying. I see the run game going on a lot for Dallas, but I don't see it like. I see big plays and big runs into the game, but I don't see the score going up like both of you are saying. I'm going to say it's a low-scoring game, and I'm going to see basically like what you're saying, Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers. But I'm saying it's going to be like a 13-10 game with Green Bay at the end of the game making the last drive with Aaron Rodgers and ending up with a field goal.
Let me ask,
That's my prediction of the game.
what kind of day do you see Ty Montgomery having?
You asking me?
Whoever wants to answer it, I just threw that question out there.
Ty Montgomery, I don't think he's going to have that big of a game. I love him at his versatility, but I don't see him as this back that everybody thinks he can be. He can be this 20 to 25 carry guy. He's not a workhorse.
I couldn't agree more. and I know this has nothing to do with it. You know, let me preface what I'm about to say here. I hate that he wears number 88 and he's a running back.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Well, we were just talking about off the air, Deion Sanders. He couldn't wear the number 2. I mean, this is getting off the subject, but he was a Dallas player. But he wore number 2 every practice that he practiced in, and he wasn't allowed to wear number 2 because it wasn't a defensive back's number. He's not a wide receiver, Ty Montgomery.
Sure, absolutely.
So
I agree.
I mean, if they're saying that he's going to be their workhorse and he's going to be their number 1 guy at running back, he's got to wear a running back number.
Sure he does. And dude, it's just so ugly watching them hand him the ball and number 88 is running the ball. I mean,
Right.
88 to me is a tight end's number. I know
Sure.
wide receivers wear it, but
Yeah.
you know, to me that's a tight end number.
Yeah.
You know, I know that was a
Absolutely.
little off topic.
That's all right. We're about to go into the best part of the show.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go into week 5 for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Sure.
Not the Phillies. They're home against Arizona. You know, I feel the Eagles are gonna do pretty good in this game, but I don't know. What do you feel, Pete? You seem anxious to.
I you know, going into the season before injuries happened, I counted this one as a loss. David Johnson, I was thinking best running back in the league. I still think this is a tough one. I've been listening to the radio. Everybody thinks the Eagles steamroll this team. I'm against that because, number one, this is an X-division foe for us. And the Cardinals always play the Eagles tough. Always. Larry Fitzgerald has his way with the Eagles, and there's nothing that we can do about it. And he's been that way since he's been in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think this is going to be a tough game for the Eagles. I think this comes down to a field goal. I'm looking at 23-20 Arizona.
Wow. Coming out with the upset. I thought you were going to throw out there's another game-winning field goal by Jake Elliott.
Only 54 yards this time.
No, I don't agree with your prediction. I mean, everybody has their own opinion.
Sure.
I think Arizona, with David Johnson, losing him is really going to hurt them throughout the season. I know Arizona does have a really tough defense, and their secondary's
Patrick Peterson's
it's up there. It's one of the elite. But this kid Carson Wentz, man, he is something else. He's for real. This kid. How I know you guys do, and you know, just as a fan of the NFL, you know, obviously, these guys know I'm not an Eagles fan at all.
Ever.
But we've had our epic battles throughout the years, but all in good fun. But what I'm trying to say is this kid Carson Wentz. I mean, he showed this moxie last week that, you know, here I am, NFL, and
Stop me.
he really shown the leadership qualities that you need in a franchise quarterback.
Sure. I love everything he's about. He studies.
And you watched last week how the Eagles came out running the ball.
I love it.
They're finally establishing that. But can that trend continue? If it does, we're going to see the Eagles.
Playoffs.
We're going to see the Eagles running the ball down Arizona's throat, and I don't think there's going to be any time for Arizona to come back in this game. I think the Eagles are just going to smash them this week.
Who carries the load for the Birds, you think?
Hey, it still seems like they have this three-headed monster.
Phillies blow.
Yeah,
That's who's gonna carry the load.
LeGarrette, you know, he showed to the NFL world, guess what?
I can still do it.
I can still do it. I'm not that old cat that everybody says that's got too much mileage on my legs.
You know, every time someone doubts, you know, an older player.
Sure. They want to go out and prove everybody
you
wrong.
got to.
You
It's
know?
like the old line, you know, one last fight in them.
But
It's
I
like
but
Brian
I like
Dawkins.
to see the other two cats get the ball this week, especially Corey Clement.
Me too. Local kid, man.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, the Eagles, when they're playing at home, I don't know. It's something about their defense. It just comes.
They just show up.
They just rise to this stage where and they just rally right around the fans. So I see a blowout in this one. I don't even see Arizona even competing in this game.
Okay.
I see it 35-10.
35-10 the Birds, says
I'm
Toy.
And he's not an Eagles fan. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan, but
I'm a realist though when it comes to the
I
NFL.
do feel like Clement should touch the ball a little bit more. And like one
I'll
of our
start it with Eddie Hestruck asking that question.
Yeah, he's been asking it for a minute now. We haven't talked about it.
No, we did. We touched
I
on it
did
when he asked.
Oh,
it.
yeah, we
Absolutely.
did.
But
Alright.
at the same time, ever since that question was popped up,
It runs
this
in your
kid has
minds.
been showing up.
Yeah, the kid.
So,
He has.
Scored last week.
Kudos to the
Yeah, so-
Hestruck down in South Carolina.
I see it. I don't know. The Eagles, they haven't really impressed me this year at all. Besides the 61-yarder,
Really?
and that just barely made it. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
You gotta understand. You gotta understand one thing. I don't watch football every weekend like you do. So what I get to see is just highlights of a Philadelphia Eagles game.
Sure.
You know, I work all. I work all day. So when I want to see the highlights, I don't want to see the team struggle on halfway through the game and only have 4 to 5 really good
Well, the
plays.
best way to do it, especially if you're at work, you know, you pop in a headphone,
I
you
was
listen
just
to Merle.
going to say
Merle,
that, dude.
that's probably the best way. Yo,
As
I
a
didn't
Philly
even watch
guy,
the
dude.
game. I sat there and enjoyed the game just listening to Merle Reese.
Merrill paints it. Him and Mike Quick paint a good picture. dude.
Absolutely.
They don't. I'm not gonna.
It had me
I'm
drawn
not
to
gonna
that.
discard it. They do.
No, but that's what you need to do now.
Well, yeah. In the place where I work, it's kind of hard to listen
Just
to
one ear.
That's it.
You guys.
One ear.
One ear, he's right, dude.
All right.
That's
Well, let me get to my prediction.
Okay.
All right. Not a high scoring game. I'm gonna say 27-20 Philadelphia.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You're seeming like Arizona will put some points on the board.
Yeah, I feel it's gonna be a good game.
Larry Fitz is scoring 2 touchdowns.
I feel like it's gonna be a really good game. A tight game,
Listen,
close.
Larry Fitzgerald, he you know, I don't know, did he find the fountain of youth? I mean, there's a lot of guys in the NFL that have found the fountain of youth.
He's got to be hanging with Tom Brady.
And Julius Peppers.
Julius
They probably
Peppers,
gonna reach
man.
each other's house during the off season.
Yeah, of
barbecue.
course. Why not? They're all superstars, you know.
I like Julius Peppers too, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this game, you know, this is really going to show a lot of you know, just feeding off of what the Eagles did last week. I mean, granted, it was against a Chargers team that is still trying to find ways to win games, but I mean, just to go out on the West
Chargers
Coast.
were in that game too, man.
Of course,
You know, that's what scares me.
And it seemed like a home game for the Eagles.
Absolutely, and that's what scares me. It was like a home game for the Eagles, and the Chargers were still in that game. When in reality, the Eagles should have put that team away, probably.
They should have
In the
destroyed
third.
that team.
But that goes to tell you about the competitiveness of Philip Rivers. You know?
Sure, yeah,
Yo,
absolutely.
when I seen it at work, I wasn't sure they were at, because just the the crowd itself. I thought
Right.
they were home.
All
Wait a
Eagles,
minute.
dude.
I thought they were away. You know.
It was, you could hear it on TV. I don't know if you guys were watching. You could hear the Eagle change. You could hear Go Eagles.
You didn't hear
I love that
anything
stuff.
for the Chargers whatsoever.
No,
No
absolutely
play
not.
calls, no no penalties, nothing went. You didn't hear a crowd.
I was listening to it on the radio, and I mean it was like parts of the game where you just hear defense,
And
defense, and the Chargers were on offense.
but you know what? As an
At
Eagles
home.
fan, I love it. I've been to a few away games.
Yeah.
I was actually at the Dallas Monday night game the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl when McNabb was in the pocket, and that was almost like an Eagles home game too. That was
Wow.
one of the best games I was ever at.
Yeah.
All right, Pete. Well, let's not get a little carried away.
Just getting this down.
Yeah, I know we ran a little far
happened.
into this one, but I think it was a good show, guys.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I always appreciate these guys coming over to do a sports segment with me.
Sure.
And we appreciate you
Bring
having
it
us
in.
here.
Thanks for having
And
us.
please, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to share.
And for all you Game Boys out there,
May the scores be with you.